things I don't understand. I know, oh Lord, I know it's in my heart and baby down in my soul. You, baby, you can't take it no more. No, I know I'm walking out that door the way you treated me too many times before. Don't you know you love them, baby, too? Oh, you know I want you there, wanna be right there with you. I know I gotta keep you by my side till the day I die. Cause baby, ecstasy is in my hand. Oh, when I'm holding yours in mine and walking in the sand. Oh, baby, you know it's fine. Oh, now you done and piss me off. You ain't done something you shouldn't have done. Baby, I'm mad. I'm going on. Oh, I'm going on.
Well, I must say, I am confused. Everything seems to be working now. I just had to reinstall my webcam because the drivers were corrupted, and when I tried to load the software just now, it started blinking at me. And right here in the little box where it shows my head and, stuff, the webcam screen, the webcam is up there, and I look at it right there, and it had the little error message. It kept on trying to refresh, and the error message kept up. So I still have the couple of videos that I shot with my cell phone that I forgot to upload earlier, of the weird error that I was getting in XSplit. Apparently, they have now disabled monetization on the free version, but I don't know if I was in a grace period or what's going on there, or why they just happened to shut it down. But anyway, I reinstalled XSplit and I demonetized it, but I've already decided to do the whole purchasing the premium version and getting the laptop thing. Thank you to the Secret Santa type person. So we will be having an upgraded studio here shortly. Sponsored in part by viewers like you. I tell you what, hi Carlos. I did not even expect this crap today. Like I just wasn't sure if anything was gonna work just now. Really didn't know, but I'm glad it did. G'day, Neville. Huh. So I did the Hangouts stream earlier. Oh, now I've done screwed up my alignment right there. And I don't even, just because I was so flustered by the situation, I don't really remember if I covered everything I have on the news right here or what. Okay, I have my windows straightened out. Actually, I think one of the things I like about this software is that basically to arrange the screen, you just sit there and you be OCD. If you like to sit there and be OCD with Windows, you can just be OCD with this and wind up getting it slightly positioned right. Number 3. Who's he talking to? Is there someone here I don't see, or have you decided to call me number 3? Technically, number 3 would be Gabriel. People obsessed with threes and sixes and nines, all part of the Saturnite. Ah, the third good day. Good day number 3. Oh, I get it. That makes sense. I wonder if that's what he meant. You never know what that one's up to, you know. Ah. So let's see. I changed the riddle. I think you got to have like a freaking giant screen to be able to see it. I don't know if I could see that on my phone screen. Found abandoned at how a Wiccan mother tells her pale pals it wasn't a girl. G. Male. Yeah. But I think somebody had trouble understanding that you need to have an email address for pale pals to work for you out in the potato fields or whatever. So, good day number 3. Still waiting for him to have the balls to explain himself. You know, not that I don't know what he's implying. I just want to see if he's willing to admit what he's implying. As that one brilliant guy on that YouTube video of Hindu TV news or whatever. Back your claim, sir! Back your claim! What's up, Max? Enjoyed your rendition of the Humpty Dumpty haiku. So, Earlier today, I decided it was okay to reveal further evidence of a cooperative strategy between China and Obama that had been going on to undermine Putin's delusion of world dominance. And while I was detailing the evidence involved for what would otherwise be, I suppose, classified information that other analysts don't seem to be able to, as of yet, deduce, started to have a little bit of technical difficulties. And, the funny part about that is, bullet point number 2 is I was going to give some pointers on how to maintain a proper civilian level of internet security. Was it going to detail out the extensive crap that I have to do to keep my evidences archived? But I don't pay a lot for a muffler, And if I can stay secure online, you can stay secure online. And while they've had a bit of success with the extreme amount of access that live streaming gives to this little disposable PC right here, I am hoping to give some advice that will help your average user who doesn't do freaking YouTube live streaming with, files and everything up. Just a little bit of advice on how they can stay safe, as well as rehashing some of what I would recommend as far as public policy goes to make the internet more free by making it more responsible. Because the fact of the matter is, it isn't governments who restrict freedom on the internet. It's trolls and hackers, okay? And it's the government's responsibility to protect people from foreign state actors and non-state actors working on the behalf of hostile foreign governments. Don't need to be specific. So anyway, coochie key. Little pale face Byakuya of the coochie key grabber clan. Yeah, bleach joke. How about that? He has been, and I talked about this earlier, contacting dozens and dozens of Russians and the government and financial institutions in Russia that are connected to the government, and didn't report it on his form, which requires him to do so in order for him to receive classified information. So there's a combination application / affidavit for security clearance. And I'm pretty sure it's like 20 years in prison. It says it right on the paper if you lie. Like big fucking felony, bad, not just a slap on the wrist kind of thing if you lie on this form, because it's about fucking national security. And he didn't disclose not just contacts, but contacts and ties that basically are going to make it to where he also should have registered as a foreign agent. How many members of the Trump administration is it that should have registered as a foreign agent? Fascinating, isn't it? So earlier I did the Notebook of Science headlines from the live Google Hangout stream. Is it just me, or has the drivers improved the video quality here? Does this look clearer to you? Let me scroll down and see if I'm falling behind on the chat by now. Oh, there we go. Oh, come on, Germanicus Keith, if that is your real name. People call you Jeremy or Keith, or maybe just Manicus. I turned the bit rate down on the sound, so that should be helping with the sound, and maybe perhaps turning the bit rate down on the sound has helped with the video, you know, whatever this is called. Anyways, so I think I pretty much explained on the broadcast earlier today. Trump may have an ankle bracelet. There may actually be a physical ankle bracelet. If not, I really do think that he is in sort of a metaphorical ankle bracelet, if you will. It seems to me as though he has been put in his place, and his place isn't the real president. And yeah, I pretty much explained the hell out of that earlier today. So what I want to talk about is all this internet fuckery. Okay. Rule number 1 when setting up a computer and connecting to the internet. Do not plug your computer into the cable modem ever. Okay? Always get some sort of a router. Something. Okay? You at least need something between you and that, you know, connection to the outside world. Um, 2 years ago is when I had them start the investigation, Neville. 2 years ago is when I told them, look, I started this little outreach program on here, and regardless of whether or not you might think of me, I want you guys to keep track of me and to keep track of some of these people, because I think they're going to lead you to some of the right places. And, you know, I'm not going to tell you everything that I told them, but that time was a few months into the channel, and around the time where I started saying that these people all seem like Russian shills too, as far as the flat earth channels go. And it was at that point where I was just like, fuck this shit. Need to contact some of my old friends. You know, not that I really know anybody in Washington in the FBI. But, you know, I got a few friends here and there, relatives and that kind of thing. No, before he was a candidate, he was being investigated before he was a candidate. Most of these people were being investigated before Trump was a candidate, before the campaign was formed. So, dangerous play my ass. Treason is a fucking dangerous play, man. And believe me, he's not the president. It's all a play. I mean, we're doing what America wanted to do, not what Russia wanted to do, not what Trump was going to have us do on Russia's behalf. That shit ain't happening. There's going to be a few different little plays of big Republican bills that aren't going to pass, okay? Now, as far as all the shit that the Republicans in the Congress can do, we're kind of fucked. But when it comes to, oh yeah. Meant the government letting him run was a dangerous play. I thought you were talking about what people usually say about, you know, spying on the candidate is a dangerous play. My apologies. Letting him run was a dangerous play. Yes. Unless you take our little theory and just keep on pedaling back and consider that I was doing ghostwriting for speeches in Obama's first campaign. So the chances of them actually listening in on this channel and forming strategies around my advice, I mean, they formed campaign strategies around my advice in 2008, so why the fuck wouldn't they be listening to me now? You know, he sent me a t-shirt. And this fucking bitch I paid to clean my house stole it from me. Wah. Pissed me off because it wasn't until after he was president that you could even. It wasn't until the next campaign that you could even buy one of those shirts. One voice can change the world shirt. I like teared up when I got it. I was like, "You're welcome, Barack." I'm like, well, not really, but I did tear up a little bit because I read it's a very moving set of dialogue. If one voice can change a mind, then that voice can change a room, and if that voice can change a room, then that voice can change a crowd, and if that voice can change a crowd, and that voice can change a nation, if that voice can change a nation, and that voice can change the world, or something like that. And I got a bit verklempt, but cleaning person stole it from me. Stole my shirt. Like, really, bitch? Now you gotta steal, like, the one thing they gave me for the lines that Barry used, and for like the general, you know, how to win over as much of the working white vote as you can strategy, and how to be strong on national security and understand the difference between rhetoric and logic. That's the kind of shit that I used to help with. Because, you know, to me, Obama was a victory. To me, the New World Order was already there, and Obama was a new hope, sort of. And, you know, there was just a coordinated fucking conspiracy by the people who propped up the evil agenda of whatever the fuck the oligarchy was going on under Bush, they were the ones who were pointing all the fucking fingers and making all the accusations against Obama. And the whole time, I researched every accusation. The whole time, not a damn one of them checked out. And it's all just been a pattern. It's all been an attempt to usurp our very democracy. And to that effect, the advice I'm going to give you is not going to keep you 100% safe. The more research, the more knowledge that you have, the more safe you can be. And I cannot give away too much of what I know without giving away what my probable strategy would be. But obviously, the first thing that you need is a network. Okay, you can't have high-speed internet like you had your dial-up modem back in the fucking 90s. Okay, if you have a cable modem, you need a router. Okay, I recommend Linksys or Cisco products, but you know that there might be one that your local ISP provides, and that they provide firmware updates. So if you're not a tech, you might want to go with that. And, you know, if you didn't know what I mean by firmware updates, just go ahead and get the router through your ISP, because, yeah, that's not, but that's the one for you. They're going to do it for you. They'll just take care of it. You don't have to worry about that. And if they can't, they'll just make sure you get a new one. So, anyways, second thing you need to stay safe on the internet in general, especially if you like to archive digital photos, videos, home movies, that kind of thing, you need yourself at least, and I do mean at least, one external hard drive. Now, if you have or if you can purchase an old server that has hot swap drives, that's good. Or if you're just the type of person who doesn't mind ugly shit, you can keep a case open and you can actually physically unplug and swap out drives every, week or so. But you want to keep regularly scheduled backups from whatever computer you use to an external hard drive, and leave that hard drive unplugged while your computer is on the internet. So if you're going to back up everything on your computer, first thing you want to do is update your virus software, your antivirus software. A virus software. Hey, look, I've got a software that gives me a bunch of viruses. No, an antivirus software that keeps the viruses. And I'm going to talk about which ones to get here in a minute. Update your antivirus software and turn off your internet. I prefer slightly older business machines that don't have Wi-Fi connections. I like business machines that don't have Wi-Fi connections, so that I can use a Wi-Fi connection that's USB and then unplug it. Okay, so update the antivirus, unplug the internet, do a thorough scan of everything, especially everything that you're going to back up, okay? Then do your backup once a week. That's, or however often you back up, say, your phone or camera, you want to go ahead and scan everything and then do a backup, because you could be downloading from your camera, you could be downloading viruses off of just like a Facebook meme, okay? Not one Facebook meme, but like 20 Facebook memes could combine to make Captain Planet's evil twin. Good morning, Sean. How are you, sir? Anyways, so external hard drive and yes, the antivirus. All right. Let me just say this. Norton and McAfee and Kaspersky, while I'm at it. Absolute crap. Like, not even just garbage, but they are themselves viruses. Okay? Yes. What has been sold in stores for fucking decades now, real techs call a virus. You want a virus program? That's a virus program. Okay, McAfee, Norton. Those systems grind your computers to a halt and allow only friendly proprietary spyware. That's what they are. They are friendly proprietary spyware company. They're essentially rogue intelligence agencies. McAfee, Kaspersky, and Norton. Okay, obviously Kaspersky being a Russian rogue intelligence agency. Don't think that they're gonna fucking protect you from anything. Okay, you want protection? There are two companies. That's it. One I recommended for 5 or 6 years before recommending both. Now I recommend both. And each one in an individual situation, depending on the user, depending on the network. But for most people, especially for broke people, the best antivirus out there is AVG free version. Make sure that when you're installing it, you don't install the trial of the full internet security, because then it will last for 30 days and then give you less protection. But unlike trial versions of McAfee and Norton and Kaspersky, when you end your trial, it doesn't suddenly infect you with all kinds of shit, which, yes, they will do. Now, for your average single user, professional level, pay for the AVG full version. But for networks, for business or even multiple computer home networks, I recommend and have always recommended since 1998 Trend Micro. Okay. And Trend Micro makes what's called PC Chillin', and the old technicians that I used to work with called it PC Chillin', because you put it on your PC and it'd be chillin'. I know that's not funny at all, but that's what we used to say. Anyway, it was funny in the 90s. You just have to take my word for it. I'm from there. Anyways, so what PC Chillin' does, that's just Trend Micro, Internet Security, Professional, and Home editions, is each computer scans the other computers on the network. So it doesn't only work like an antivirus program, but it works. Each computer is like a little mini server scanning the other computers, helping them all stay safe together. And you register a series of licenses as opposed to just putting it on one computer. And it has a license that you can put on your different mobile devices and shit too. So yeah, stage 1 AVG free, a little bit of an upgrade, buy the AVG internet security. And if you're thinking about it, feel free to do the trial thing. Just know what you're getting into. But if you have multiple computers on a network, I really recommend Trend Micro. Also for gaming systems, Trend Micro has always worked really well for gaming systems. And of course, gaming systems are often on networks too, anyways. But like, the other antivirus programs, McAfee, Norton, Kaspersky, and I have worked on hundreds of machines with each one of them. Okay, I used to be a computer technician here. I have been paid to remove Norton at least 170 times. Okay, and it's a pain in the ass just to like remove that infection, the Norton or McAfee too, the McAfee infection from the registry, from the hard drive. It's bizarre how pervasive it is, persistent. I don't know, whatever you call it. But AVG is from Germany, and I believe Trend Micro is an American company. It's not Canadian. I'm pretty sure they're American. And never had any fucking problems. Very seldom do you actually have a virus that makes it through their updates, and every time it doesn't take them long to figure it out, and they've always got good support. Trend Micro, especially at the business network security level, has very good telephone customer support. That's what my remaining business clients here in town all use. So they don't have to fucking call me all the time. So anyways, yeah, put that into your pipe and smoke it for all the people who think I'm just like some sort of a bum who all I do is YouTube or whatever. I have always tried to get as much work done and as little sleep as possible. It's just how I am. Anyways, I can't even play a video game without using it to do magic. Like, that helps all of you. Like, I'll purposely play a boring video game just to increase the power of that. Anyway, and that's called forcing myself to relax. That's when I'm in too much pain to do anything else. Anyway, my wife taught me that. I didn't know how to do that until I was married. She taught me how to play Final Fantasy even. Anyways, so there's your three main tiers. You want separation from your internet source, okay? You want, if you can read the instructions and get into it, you want to go into the router settings and disable like NAT requests and like random users access to your network. You can just disable all that and keep it from happening, because like if you all routers come with the ability for remote access, for people to be able to access their stuff from vacation or whatever, right? You don't need that. Take it the fuck off of there, and it keeps you safer. If you go into your start menu, type in msconfig, okay? Go to services. You will see things called remote access server and remote registry. You do not need these things. And there's probably a few other things that are not labeled properly, that look suspicious, that you probably don't need, and you might want to uncheck them and see if you missed them. Chances are you'll be more safe. I could give you a specific list, but that would be revealing my tricks as far as speeding up computers go. And then, of course, there is the under the msconfig thing, the services tab, then the startup tab. You should look down that thing and see if you can figure out which all the ones that are checked off are, and uncheck as many as you think you can without screwing up anything. If you don't know what it is, don't uncheck it, okay? And IGFX PERS, it won't go away. Okay, so don't even bother. So those are just some quick things you can do to disable avenues that people use to get into your computer. And you can do your own research and find out more about each individual thing, and wind up making yourself kind of geeky in the process. But remote registry, you don't need remote registry. Remote desktop, you probably don't need remote desktop. So take that shit off of there. Sysinternals. Is that a security program? I know there are a couple of newer ones that are good, and that sounds like one. I'd have to see it in like logo form, because I'm like a decade behind on being a computer guy. Like, I haven't been a computer guy for that long, like since before Katrina, or just immediately after Katrina. I went and did some work for the federal government, and it got monotonous and lost all my skills. Okay. All right. I didn't want to sound stupid and not know about a new product. Okay. Sysinternals is a program that Microsoft, it's a tool that Microsoft will give you that'll let you look at the individual services and all the different files that they access and shit. Um, huh. And he says they integrated them in Microsoft web page. That's cool. But you can use the process explorer and that to go virus hunting on your own computer, and to see like different um, like malwares running within other files by looking up the different strings that each file accesses as it's running. So yeah, I forgot all about that shit. Haven't used it for a while. Haven't had the need to. Just probably because I haven't really been fixing that many computers. But it used to be something I would use about once or twice a week. Just because, dude, some viruses, no antivirus is gonna get. It's just gonna sit there and hang out on your computer and pretend to be something else. And once it does that, it's integrated and embedded into the system. So it's not until that antivirus company comes out with a specific patch for that specific driver that got infected. It's yeah, it's kind of the thing that needs to be caught before it embeds itself, really. But if you have the process explorer and sysinternals, you can sit there and look for the really weird looking writing and see it flash up and think, oh, where was that? And go try to fucking scroll down and click on it before it moves around too much. And yeah, that's not very useful for your average user though, because I suppose you could probably screw some shit up. Anyways, because not everybody sat there and looked at what system file names look like since they were fucking 6 years old. That's how long I've been looking at fucking system file names. I'm using DOS since I was 6 years old. DOS. That's all we used to have was DOS. Just DOS. Load a fucking program, type the name of the program. DOS will make it happen. You want to use a mouse? Type the name of your fucking mouse driver. DOS will give you a mouse cursor. Yeah. I used a DOS version of AutoCAD once that my dad had for his homework, and that's like that's the last experience with AutoCAD I had was in the 80s. So I look at I see jobs that are like 10 years ago when I was looking for jobs still. I would see jobs AutoCAD. I'm like, oh yeah, I know how to use AutoCAD. Giggle to myself. Pretty sure my knowledge is a bit outdated. They had this little platform and like this thing that looked like a mouse. And my dad had one at home that was like a smaller version of it. And it had like a little like an Oculus with an X on it. And the little thing where it sat had like square like line graph paper, and you would sit there and guide the wall or the line or whatever where you wanted it, and then you'd specify your you'd hold down the fucking right key and specify your measurement and shit like that. As far as like the thickness and the height and everything. But yeah, it was like a pretty cool structural tool, even back in the 80s. Anyways, I'm getting on a little bit of a tangent. So, your basic fundamentals for a fucking home user computer type thing. Separation with a router, okay? Try to configure the router to not allow remote access. Try to configure your computer to not allow remote access. Backup system, okay? Because eventually something will go wrong. You just have to assume that something will go wrong if you want to stay safe. Okay, don't think you can buy a fucking security software and keep your computer safe. You can't. And the last thing is, of course, in order to stay safe at all for any length of time, a proper antivirus program, not one that's going to cause more harm than good. AVG or Trend Micro. So yeah, that is how to make the internet safe again. And what the government can do is start requiring, and I think NATO countries should lead the way in this, requiring internet users to have basically a visa, you know? And if you want to use the internet in my country, you need to log in with your Visa account, you know? Well, let's stop allowing the internet to be a tool of criminals, because that's really the way it's set up, what it enables now. So you envy the American work flexibility, easiness to start working young, start own business. Okay, I guess I just it all depends on where you're where you're at, especially as far as what part of America that you're in. There's always a restaurant hiring. You're allowed to work when you're 16. You're allowed to work with, knives or other dangerous things at the age of 18. But, it's, as far as starting your own business goes, you have the freedom to do it, but it ain't easy. And there's a lot more people who have rich parents who wind up failing at business than there are people who don't have rich parents who succeed. And, you know, of course, I've been working on a business plan for quite some time, and I'm planning to succeed. And that's what's taking me so long to formulate the fucking plan. But, you know, what can you do? But it's not hard to see how the American model, in its essence, is a better system. We just need to get people's heads out of their asses in general in this country, and just, you know, be a fucking better example if we expect to help lead the world into a new civilized future, or a stale civilized future, growing stale and about to be discarded. Yeah, no problem. Like I was working tech bench back when Gator was suing people for advertising that they would remove Gator. And if you don't remember Gator, then you weren't on back then. I don't know if Gator's still around even. But Gator was just like a obnoxious spyware suite that would take over your browsing capability, basically. And yeah, they acted like they had a right to be on your fucking computer, and told tech companies they didn't have a right to advertise that they would remove, because that was slander. Like they were what they were. But I mean, like, fuck. And all that bullshit, all of the U.S. Congress's turning a blind eye to and enabling the different crappy companies, and in America and the global companies, to just fuck people. I mean, just use the internet as just a corporate enslavement tool. Um, that was all done under the false pretense of the Cold War being under, you know? And to a certain extent, it was these people. I didn't realize how far under my shirt was. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be like that obnoxiously relaxed on camera. But as far as, like, you know, showing their true colors goes, it wasn't just as though the American companies were, you know, oh, look, we don't have a country to protect anymore. Let's just be as shitty as we can be. There were outside influences. There were infiltrators. There was corrupt, personal, traveling rhetorical, and, of course, media influence that all just perpetuated the psychosis that developed across this country. Um, anyways, so fuck, I'm getting pretty tired for 11:35. Geez. I think I'm going to take a little break, put some music on, refresh my coffee, and come back, and we're going to check out Microsoft News for some headlines. So feel free to put your comments or questions up. I'm going to make them a little bigger on the screen, and I will be back in a few.
finally found someone else to devour me. Brand new start. My perfect angel, how could you be such a disgrace? And how could I have been so easy to replace? But now I'm someone that's all to you. You're not there. I look deep inside my fears and I found out where. Before you play your games with me, there's something you should know. I always knew your thoughts just didn't want to spoil your show. But it's okay now, I'll just sit and fucking stare. I can barely remember you, 'cause you were never there. I can only wonder how I let it last so long. I should have took the clue when you knew what you were doing was so wrong. Why do you still think you can hide your thoughts from me? You're the one who will suffer your lies. I'll just let you be. I tried to warn you so many times I cannot count. But without my love to guide you, you had better pray for a way out. You better pray for a way out. But it's okay now, I'll just fade away. And I can't help you anymore, there's nothing left to say. But it's okay now, I'll just let the demons have you. But if God wills, I'll still be here for you to run to. doesn't matter if it's wrong or if it's right. It don't matter if it's wrong or right to you. My perfect angel, how could you just fade away. I can't help you anymore. There's nothing left to say.
Alright, so that's the sticker on my guitar. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if I showed y'all that. I know I tried to show y'all that and failed miserably. So there it is. Love the earth as if your life depends on it. Got that guitar in 1996. I didn't think at that point I would own it for half its fucking age. Like, it was an old guitar. It was a, yeah, that's a little brass string saddle there. Is that what the kids are calling it these days? A saddle, I suppose. I don't know if I know my guitar part nomenclature. Remind them that those who want to destroy the world are the ones who want them to hate it and perpetuate that hate. Yeah, I bought that sticker off of a guy named Sean, actually, who did magic tricks and sold stickers and other things that were magically stickerish. Real cool cat. He basically would borrow people's printers as he traveled around the country, and he would buy the sticker paper from office supply store and cut them out himself, and just had a bunch of different types of stickers for sale, and that's how he made his little living as he traveled around. He used to work on guitars, trying to fine-tune sound and resonance with custom parts and different materials, learning a lot from metaphors on Honda tuning. That's cool. I've been I don't know how many of y'all play Final Fantasy before and know who the hell Yojimbo is, but he wears this weird guitar machine on his shoulders, and it's like some kind of string operated device to help him swing his sword, kinda. And like, I, I want to build one for a Halloween costume. It's got like pulleys and shit on the inside. It's fucking badass looking. Um, I've used them on the game before. It's the one where you actually hear like the little, what the fuck is the name? Not a sitar, like the Chinese guitar, the tabletop guitar. Um, yeah, I want one of those. Pretty sure I used to play one of those in a previous life. Like, a lot. There was a movie that reminded me of that. I think it was Red Cliff, actually. Red Cliff was a badass movie. Red Cliff just had so many deja vu moments in it for me. Like, you know, when presented with about probably 9 out of 10 other war movies, I would just rather go watch Red Cliff again than see like most other new, like, you know, I'll watch them and then I'll just be like, I would have just been better off watching Red Cliff again. Anyways. Oh yes, a Goo Quinn. think I'm saying that. I don't know how to say that. That's not how to say that. I don't think. Goo Quinn. Fucking. Maybe you can phonetically spell it out for me. I can feel like I'm doing this properly. Guchin? But it's not like goo. It's like goo, right? Fuck. Ah. Anyways, spacing out a little too much on that. I found a spiffy map that I, in my new big plethora of downloaded stuff. Very spiffy map that I think I might enjoy looking at. But unfortunately, it's too damn small, isn't it? So if anybody has a big screen, they can look at this. But shit. So what this is showing is the, let me open it up full screen and I'll read it to you. The purple arrows are the Persian movements from 395 to 627. The blue movements are the Slavic tribes from 395 to 1025. So that proves the connection between Russia and Greece right there, at least in the opposite direction. The green arrows are the Western European migrations that overlap apparently from 395 to 1261. This is all according to the map. I'm not verifying this, or you know, the views of this map are not the views of the Lost Begotten channel. And the Arabic conquests are shown in orange from 630 to 975. And of course, it completely leaves out the Arabic conquest of Spain. What this is supposed to show is the Byzantine Empire, which I guess is the context in which you're always shown this crap. And in the lighter orange, you have lands lost between 565 and 1025. The medium orange, you have lands lost between 1025 and 1360. And in 1360 was the fall of Thrace. Huh. Wow. So that wasn't that long ago. Wait a minute. That is some wild stuff. That is some wacky, wild, weird stuff. Plague outbreak in 540? Huh. You ever notice how when you see documentaries, they have all these different experts speaking, and they want to show you all their names so they, make sure that they all sell their books. But all those documentaries don't have dates. There's just not a lot of dates shown. I think I can crop this just a little bit. There's a lot of extra space here. Hold on. At least crop that much out of it. Alright. That. Oh no, wait. Huh. Now it's a different image. Okay, maybe you can see that a little bit better now. Huh. It's a G sound we don't have, but anyway, close enough. That's fun. Alright. So you have your Franks and Lombards and Gauls. And they're all north of Normans. Which, you know how far south Normandy is, right? It makes perfect sense. Lombards. Lombards are just Italians. That's just the Italians that you know today. That's all they are. Those are just Italian people. I don't really fucking know why they call it Italy. Like, that confuses me. What? See what you're looking at here when it says Normans, Franks, and Lombards. Like, in any of the proper names that are given, those are families in Germany. Gaul. Gaul was named. But like Lombards, Normans, Avars, Thrace, Khazaria. Those are named for families of ancients. I mean, like, the very idea that it's hard to track the history of God and the family of the ancients, it's kind of fucking preposterous. It's a lie. It's like it's an intentional deception. And it comes from people who basically spoiled their inheritance and decided to conspire to take that which belonged to others. throughout history. Up in the top left corner, you have the divided Roman Empire, shown in 395. So apparently what this is saying is that the Roman Empire didn't split until 395 AD. What the fuck are you talking about? Is that really what people think these days? Oh. Now I'm wondering where the hell I got this map. Nistrum. Oh, fuck's sake. So this should be relatively, quote, credible, quote, accurate, unquote. I'm fucking flabbergasted that the division of the Roman Empire doesn't come in your history until 395. That had already happened, like, 400 years earlier. And then I'm, that's ringing a bell. Oh yeah, I often find myself off by 400 years, it seems. But that's 400 years in the wrong direction at the wrong place. Ah, what the fuck? Oh, I topped off my coffee and I didn't drink any of it. Now it's all cold again. Shit. So, does anybody with a more practical knowledge of recent history want to try to fucking explain this to me? Apparently my email to the XSplit people has gained me some grace. I didn't even get a watermark changing back the scene right there. I wonder if I could change it back again and still not get a watermark. Ooh, look at that. Oh. Don't need to listen to that again. But I guess while we're all vision out on the map, I can put another song up.
soon. But I try to find a way to get away from here. I know why can't I get back, get back, get back, get back? I know you coming through, you're trying, oh you're trying to get me, you're trying too hard. I'm going, baby, I'm going too far. I want something better than this, yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, so sorry about that. Thank you. Maximo says he was never able to fully comprehend Western history as it was taught. A lot of things felt like he was being forced to remember something wasn't true, didn't happen, or happened differently. Carlos said he knows it's Russian and probably preempting, and that's what I agree with, as far as what the purpose of these the book is. Alternate History by, is it Dmitry Fomenko? Alexander Fomenko? Fomenko, Fomenko. Emily has also read him. And there's a lot of different interesting overlaps that he points out. What I was saying is that while I have seen the advertisements here on YouTube for that, so I know like the gist of what Anatoly, thank you, Carlos, Fomenko is all about, I haven't read the book or anything, or done extensive research into to what they present, because obviously I'm trying to figure out history for myself, and I don't want somebody else's theory to wind up repeating or influencing it myself in any way. It's just for the same reason why I have a book by my uncle Henry Morris called Revelation Code. That's the same Henry Morris that founded the Institute for Creation Research, called Revelation Code. And I asked my wife to read it because I'm not allowed to read it because I have like shit to do. And I think actually the point has come where I can read it. I got to make sure that's the case before I do. But there's been a lot of different opportunities in my life to read interpretations of prophecy, and for a similar reason, I have just refused. But anyway, I just always had a feeling that God was going to reveal something unique to me, and I didn't want anybody else's revelation to interfere with my revelation. You know, I figured God wanted me to show God wanted to show me things a certain way, and I didn't want preconceived notions of what to expect. So, anyway. Hi, Joey. How's it going? As you can see, I'm apparently able to broadcast. And thanks to the combined efforts of many of you here and someone who we still can't figure out who it is, and we thank them very much, we're going to be having laptop and proper software soon, because it's a couple $100 for the full version of this software that apparently I just discovered today. I'm not allowed to monetize broadcasts after a certain trial period. So, or apparently I was in a grace period that I didn't even know I had to be in, or what. I hope there was a grace period. Apparently there was a grace period that fucking just ended. I don't know. I'm just going to call it a grace period. Yeah, because that sounds like less legal trouble for me. Just assuming there was some sort of a grace period in which YouTube allowed me to monetize the videos and XSplit didn't spit it out. But earlier today, it got spit out. And apparently I need to purchase the commercial premium license for XSplit. And putting it on a new laptop. And the new laptop should have better video quality. And I'm thinking maybe how we used to do the broadcasts with the TV and the dresser with the wedding decorations and stuff behind it. I think I might set up a little table right here again and put the laptop on there and have it facing this way, so I can do a combination of stuff with the XSplit software and the TV behind me. And maybe if I can find my long HDMI cable, I'll be able to split screen it. And I covered the Moab thing earlier today during the Hangouts broadcast. Moab got dropped on another tunnel complex in Afghanistan. They're saying that it was the first time a Moab was used. I don't think so, Tim. Not the first time in Afghanistan. Certainly not the first time overall. So, I'm still looking at the map. What we were doing just a few minutes ago is looking at this here Byzantine map. And trying to figure out from this overarching view of history what timeline it measures up to as far as my memories go. And two of the things that I don't, that just kind of ring a bell as not being right or needing further explanation, is the migration of the Lombards from Switzerland. The Lombardi family. They're just Italians. They're saying it's a people called the Lombards in the fucking Swiss Alps. You know who lives in the Swiss Alps? Fucking Swiss. You know who lived there before that? Fucking dwarves. You know who lived there before that? Fucking elves. Lombardi. Sounds like a guy that works at a Cadillac dealership. Right, but apparently they think that all Italians are Lombardis. I must give Lombardis a hell of a ego. I wonder what the Zappardo family has to say about that. Interesting thing that you can learn by dissecting the word Zappardo. See, as far as I know, Italy was settled by mostly the tribe of Judah. And one of their families is the shoemakers. Okay. And I would bet that I don't know what the translation of Lombardi is, but I don't know what the translation of Zappardo is either. But it sounds a lot like zapato. That's shoe in Spanish. I wonder if it's related to the word shoe. Shoemaker? Zappardo. I wonder what shoemaker is in Yiddish. I know it's not fucking shoemaker, is it? Yeah. Bellucci is actually easier to figure out. And yeah, you're definitely not the first Bellucci I've met. There's a lot of Belluccis around here, Joey. Bellucci's and Bellinis and Bolognas. It makes me wonder if you could translate those names. Huh. And they all wound up being different things that are also translated into English from Jewish and Yiddish names. Should be very interesting. Anyways, now I'm sitting here trying to space out on a live broadcast. Sorry about that. You know, not that I do that very often. I don't know. No, not me. Must be some other fucking Jesus guy on YouTube. Honda. It's Japanese for fuck your lifted truck. Oh, look. It's George Washington's Freemason apron. And we can see the the Temple of Heaven fucking thing. Orbs. Map. Whatever you want to call it. So, speaking of things worth spacing out on for a few minutes. Oh, no, I can make that one bigger. Yeah, be bigger. There we go. So, I'm aware a lot of people see the Star of David and those stars right there. That's 7 stars in a floral arrangement, not necessarily representative of a Star of David or a 6-pointed anything. It actually is in a position to outline a Pontiac, which is a hidden sacred symbol. And then you look down and you see those 2 angles, one up and one down. And that also gets, you know, twisted in a little computer graphic and made to look like a Star of David. That's not a Star of David. Those are symbols just like in Egyptian hieroglyphs for upper and lower kingdoms. And that's a stairway to a gateway that decides your fate, up or down. She chose down. She chose down. Always time for labyrinth quotes. Oh, yes. So then you have on one side a pentacle, and on the other side, which looks like an ore ship. So you have the works of man, and you have kind of riding with the waves. There's, you know, gematria versus natria, kind of. Building with a hammer versus whipping the waves with an oar. Different means by which to try to test yourself against the rules of reality and the challenges of life. And I can't see what the hieroglyphs, and those are clearly hieroglyphs above each one, are. But I'm sure they're each related something to the journey of ascension for each type of man. So you have the 4 pillars, and they're solid orbs. And then you have sun and moon. Then you have the light that gives them both their light. And that forms a pyramid that outlines heaven, and the sun and moon are contained within it. And of course, I don't need to show the photo of my wife's arm again. Yeah. I mean, I will if I happen to cross it, but so oh yes, I just tooth whistled. How about that shit? That's what happens when rednecks out in the country get bored. They go, well, I don't fucking know what to do. Yeah, anyway. So, I forgot what this is supposed to be of, but it's because I don't particularly agree with what it was supposed to be of. But I believe that's supposed to be Vlad, possibly the first, sending away the emissary of a sultan. But there's just a lot of imagery there, and it happens to be my little download folder right there. I thought I'd share because it's got some obvious imagery similarities, and it shows kind of more of the meaning of what that stands for, that it's more of a last stand sort of thing, and that it used to represent us, our power structure, our power base. Huh. It wasn't long after all that this incident was recorded. And whatever you make of it, chances are, if you wound up finding this channel, I think, like, just something's telling me to tell you, anyways, that you were probably there. when this happened. This is probably where we last parted ways. We happy few. There's one more image I'm trying to find. No, wait, two more. Cool. So, no, I have not yet found any sort of translation of this stuff. Although I sure would like to. But, I remember Nuremberg, Munich, and Vienna being interconnected city-states. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a vast abundance of ruins inside the Nürburgring racetrack, actually. But this is all from 1563, I believe, is when these were from, or chronicled from. Roughly 420 years before I came back here. Because all this started a few years earlier upon my death. And I came back 420 years later. In a year that I will not tell you, because it's my fucking birth year and you don't need to know that shit. Although, of course, it is very numerological. Yeah, that's a word, isn't it? English, motherfucker. I do speak it. So this has been gone over by UFO theologists and all kinds of different fucking people. What this is the same shit that happened 100 years ago and the same shit that's about to happen right now. Oh, and that's Nuremberg right there. Oh, look, Nuremberg, the city-state. Pretty sure I've seen that before. I'm pretty sure I've zoomed in on that. Obviously, I've seen it before I got the fucking image, but pretty sure I noticed that was Nuremberg before. But I didn't relate the city-stateness of it. Although that's not quite what I was picturing. That looks like a fanciful remembering of what Nuremberg used to look like. But you can tell that they were trying to impress upon the viewer that it was a city-state, not just a castle with a wall fucking 8 miles away from it, around it, for no reason. So, this is what happens when a battle of the gods doesn't go well for humanity. Obviously, the sun-like orb depicted there is the same in both of these drawings. Obviously rendered by different people. I believe one's a rubbing of an etching. I really do struggle to understand what the cigar mothership things actually are as they are depicted on this. Absent of that, the red, blue, and yellow orbs make perfect sense. Them connecting in fours also doesn't make sense. The little square X-jack thing, I don't know what the hell that is. Somebody was trying to represent something there about what they were seeing, but doing so metaphorically. Almost as though they were trying to incorporate Freemasonic hieroglyphs into this image. This big black thing right there, that could be something literal, though. That looks like a fucking alcash, which is like a demon shade that travels quickly through the night sky. Anyways, wish I had a real cigarette back here. So one would imagine that this is kind of a sequence here. This one is either first or last. These people are either seeing an initial battle unfold or they are refugees seeing their home destroyed, and possibly something else coming to fight whatever destroyed it. This is the but as far as these two go, this one looks like it happened before the other one, because you don't see the aftermath of the destruction that takes place in that picture. Hmm. No, I just can't figure it out. Oh, sorry, I started yawning while I was stuttering and yawning at the same time. No, that's talent. Like it's almost as though he tried to show up in the air what their response to it was. But then there's the possibility that after I left, and this happened a few years after I left, like I said, that there was something else that they were holding back, that they used, that they maybe felt like they couldn't use in front of me or something. I don't know. So, food for thought. New Metallica videos use this exact imagery. That is quite interesting. Feel free to troll them and send them here. Feel free to troll anybody you just have randomly pop in your head or notice that they might find something interesting. Send them here. Send them to the video that you think they might relate to their little quest. And thanks for all your help, guys. Thanks for hanging out and chatting and asking questions. I'm going to go ahead and call it a broadcast for the night. It's been 2 hours. How about that shit? Last time I looked at it, it was barely almost 1 hour. So, thanks for watching. Please click the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Check your subscriptions to make sure you are still subscribed to avoid any undue fuckery. Hopefully, we'll be improving the broadcast quality further, as opposed to getting booted off the internet more and having to do crap. Thanks again, y'all. Peace.